The Miami Heat are on fire. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Raps Report, a podcast where I talk about the Raptors and the NBA. I'm your host, Luca Rosano. Hope you're all doing well. In today's show, I thought I would give some attention to the NBA's hottest team, and quite possibly the Eastern Conference's most dangerous team, the Miami Heat. They are scorching hot right now. They've won 6 in a row, and this team looks poised for another deep run. Before we get into today's show, do me a solid, smash that like button, sub to the channel if you are new, plus ring the bell. Also, special shout out to channel member Asia Roberson, who just joined as an All-Star channel member. Here's your shout out. If you want to become an All-Star channel member, guys, hit that join button, and you too will get a shout out, and you will be featured in the credits of every podcast. And I thought with this podcast, it is primarily going to be Raptors based, but I do want to make other shows and dedicate other videos to other teams out there. So if you guys have a video idea about another team, non-Raptors, let me know in the comment section down below. I will be taking suggestions. And I did want to talk about the Heat, guys, because they've been playing some pretty damn good basketball lately. Miami continues to be one of the league's hottest teams, and they are back to 500 in the Eastern Conference, which is crazy because just a couple weeks ago, they were near the bottom of the Eastern Conference, and it looked like Miami wasn't going to do anything of substance this season, but they're finally, fully healthy. They're finally back to full strength. I know the Heat are listing Jimmy Butler right now as day-to-day with a knee injury, but he should be okay. And you look at this win streak from Miami, guys, it's the longest active win streak in the NBA. And those 6 wins came against some pretty darn good teams. They beat in the likes of the Kings, Lakers, Thunder, the Raptors. I did a live stream for that game. The Jazz, the best team in the NBA right now, record-wise, and the Atlanta Hawks. And you look at the Heat. The reason why I believe they're the most dangerous team in the Eastern Conference is they're one of the deepest teams. They got so many guys who can make an impact. Bam Adebayo, Jimmy Butler, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Goran Dragic. You got new guys like Precious Achiuwa who have been playing really, really well. This Heat team, they are deep. When they are at full strength, they can go blow for blow with some of the best teams in the NBA. We saw last year how much of that depth helped them beating teams like the Bucks, the Celtics, on their way to pushing a pretty darn good Lakers team to 6 games. And the fact that they do have that go-to guy, that alpha dog in Jimmy Butler, that helps them immensely. We saw in that game against the Raptors, Jimmy Butler can go off. I think at one point he scored Miami's last 12 points. That is a go-to star. You give him the ball, he will go to work. And having a guy like Butler next to all of that talent that Miami has, that is the recipe for success. Another reason why I like the Heat's chances, and a big reason why they've been able to turn this thing around, is their head coach, Erik Spoelstra. This is a guy who shut up a lot of naysayers last season. A lot of people thought he only had his success because he coached the big 3 of LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade. But he brought that Miami team last year to the NBA Finals when nobody was expecting that team to even get out of the second round. You look at this season, Miami went through some hurdles due to health and safety protocols, guys being out. Erik Spoelstra had a rough start, but he was able to get these guys back on the same page, and all of a sudden, he's been one of the biggest reasons why Miami has turned the ship around. And there's another interesting part of this scenario that does make Miami a very dangerous team, is the fact that you don't know what this team could do at the NBA trade deadline. There's been many rumors stating that Miami is in a position and they do want to be aggressive at the deadline, and that Pat Riley believes that the window is still open to win a championship for this group. So all of a sudden, guys, March 25th is around the corner. Could Miami make that big splash of a trade and get that guy who would then put them over the top? A couple of names that have been circulating in Miami Heat land: Kyle Lowry, a name that has been synonymous to Miami for a couple seasons now, and Keith Pompey of the Philly Inquirer came out with a report last week saying that a couple teams could be interested in Lowry: the Sixers, the Clippers, and Miami. if Miami were to go after Kyle Lowry, that could be a player that puts them over the top. I mean, that pairing between he and Jimmy Butler would be awesome. Another player most recently that has been circulating in a bunch more rumors, Victor Oladipo. And according to a recent report from the same Keith Pompey of the Philly Inquirer, Oladipo is considered likely to be willing to sign a contract extension with Miami if they trade for him. So that would be a big-time win for Pat Riley and company. So this Miami Heat team, guys, they are playing their best basketball right now. They got that DNA. They're tenacious defensively. They got guys, who can make shots, make big plays, and they run deep. On Sunday against the Hawks, they beat the Hawks by 10. 9 players scored in that game, from Precious to Vincent. You got the veteran Andre Iguodala, Tyler Hero, he's back. Goran Dragic, another veteran guard. Kendrick Nunn, he balled out. He's been balling out throughout this win streak. Bam Adebayo, snubbed in many people's eyes from the All-Star game, so much so that a report came out that Jimmy Butler made the All-Star team, but he refused to go because Bam wasn't selected alongside him. That just goes to show how much Jimmy Butler cares about his teammates. Kelly Olynyk, the Canadian, stretches the floor, can hit big-time shots. Duncan Robinson, and this Heat team didn't even have Jimmy Butler in the fold. That just shows you how dangerous, how many weapons this team truly has. And it is no fluke that they were able to go on the type of run that they went last season. This Heat team, their window is still open, and they could be a piece away from getting back to the NBA Finals. And this is the most intriguing team in the East, because you look at the Eastern Conference right now, guys, it's a very wide open Eastern Conference. I mean, the Knicks are in 4th place, damn it, followed by the Miami Heat, the Boston Celtics, and the Raptors, who are in 7th. Obviously, they missed the game yesterday. That could have changed everything. There's no clear-cut favorite in the East outside of the Brooklyn Nets. Philadelphia has shown its vulnerabilities. The Raptors have shown their vulnerabilities. The Celtics have been a mess this season overall. Let's call it for what it is. I don't think anybody's buying into the Knicks hype. I mean, it would be nice to see the Knicks back into the playoffs. It's been a while since that team has been good, but nobody's expecting the Knicks to run the table. The Nets are that team that's positioned at the top. They've had their ups and downs, but they're finally starting to hit their stride. And this is coming with KD out. Imagine when he gets back. So if Miami views, Brooklyn as the cream of the crop, and they could go out and get somebody at the deadline that can close the gap between them and Brooklyn, Miami's got enough talent, I think, and they got enough depth to really challenge and contest the Brooklyn Nets. I'm not saying they would win a playoff series against the Nets, but if they go out and get somebody at the deadline, that could make things interesting, as we get into the playoff picture and we see who plays who and how things fall into place. So, yeah, the Miami Heat, they're the most dangerous team in the Eastern Conference. Agree with this take, disagree with it, let me know in the comment section down below. You can hit me up on social media as well. That's Instagram, that's Twitter, that's TikTok. Like this video, please subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and again, if you want me to shed some light on some other teams in the NBA outside of the Raptors, I'll be looking to do more of that. Raps Report is primarily covering the Raptors and talking about the Toronto Raptors, which is my hometown team, but I do want to start doing other video concepts surrounding some other teams. So I thought in today's show I would shine some light on the Miami Heat as they continue to do what they do, and they are on a 6-game winning streak as we speak. That's it for me, guys. As always, thank you so much for watching. I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow night between the Raptors and the Pistons, assuming that game still happens, and I will catch you all again in the next one. Until next time, be great and stay blessed. Peace.